Hi folks, this is Siskoid of Siskoid's Blog of Geekery, and this is the second installment of Comics Recollected, a nostalgic video series about my first footsteps through the grand adventure of American comic book collecting as we go back to the spinner racks of the past, this time May 1983, to see what I might have seen, bought, and what I remember from those purchases. Up first, Justice League of America number 217 with a beautiful George Perez cover, and it's a nice group shot, and this is my whole strategy at this point. I want the shortcut to knowing as much as I can about these fictional universes. So team books, team up books, unusual characters I've never seen before, this is what's drawing my attention. And although I knew a lot of these Justice Leaguers from the Super Friends cartoon show, some of them I did not, and would not even after I read the book, because the Atom, Black Canary, and Green Arrow aren't even in it. Oh well, it happens. The story is a fun one in any case, and a comic I like to revisit from time to time for nostalgic reasons, really. But it's about the Justice Leaguers pairing off into different subgroups. It's a bit retro in that way, and fighting elementals, air elementals, earth elementals, that are controlled by an old wizened Atlantean sorcerer called Garnda Newt. And this is, as I would find out later, Arion, Lord of Atlantis' archenemy. And that series was written by Paul Kupperberg, who also wrote this comic. So Kupperberg basically created a little postscript to his own series of Arion, although Arion was only at number 10 at this point, so it wasn't anywhere near finishing. This would be what would happen in the very far future from Arion's perspective. The art is by the criminally underrated Chuck Patton, and a fun little book. Now, I can't be sure if I got Action Comics 546 before or after the Justice League issue. It could really have gone either way. On the one hand, it does feature the Justice League working with Superman, so that might have drawn me to the Justice League book. But on the other, I seem to remember not really knowing who Black Canary and Green Arrow were in that on that cover, on the Justice League cover, and they are in here. So maybe it came after. In any case, it's got Superman, it's got the Justice League, it's got the Teen Titans, who I didn't know anything about. Really, they seem to be, junior superheroes. It works fine. And they all fought the really cool so-called superpowers Brainiac, the metal skeleton. And so that was nice, although I never really continued on with Action Comics at this point. It didn't make me buy the next issue. But it was interesting for having Gil Kane not only doing the cover, and he was doing a lot of covers at that time. I seem to remember he was like the first artist that I really noticed. He had his own particular style that that he was immediately recognizable, and had that really strange signature that you can see over Wonder Girl's head here. But he also did the interiors, so a cool issue, all things considered. Today, I'm a huge fan of All-Star Squadron and all things Golden Age and Earth 2. At this time, it was way too early for me to pick up All-Star Squadron number 24. This issue mystified me. I didn't know who these characters were, and the ones that I did recognize were really off. There was this strange, Batman was driving this strange Batmobile that was an old-timey car with a bat face in the front of it. I mean, what was going on here? So I had no basis, no context for understanding what Earth 2 was, that there were superheroes, including heroes I knew like Batman, operating in the 1940s or the Golden Age. I had none of that background. So not only did this issue completely confound me, but I wouldn't pick up another issue for probably a couple years. So it did feature the first appearance of Tarantula's new costume. Before then, he was wearing a yellow and purple outfit that was pretty much the same thing the Sandman was using at the time. It's a cool looking outfit, not necessarily very Golden Age, although you might imagine a pulp hero like the Spider wearing something similar. Given my tastes today, it makes me really happy that my 11-year-old self wasn't so serious about superheroes that he couldn't pick up an issue of Captain Carrot and his amazing Zoo Crew, number 18 in this case. Funny animals with superpowers. I was just interested in, these were more characters I had to learn about, how they fit into the larger DC universe. After an Earth 2 book, I picked up an Earth C book, but this one didn't confuse me so much. This issue is interesting because it's got little secret case files of solo adventures for different Zoo Crew members. So Alley Cat Abra has her own little adventure, and Rubber Duck is fighting King Cone, a gorilla with ice cream cone guns. Fastback, the turtle, against Solar Bear. So obviously all the characters had puns in their names. A fun little book, and it advertised Frogzilla as the villain for the next issue, so, of course I got that. Getting New Adventures of Superboy number 44 makes it officially the first series I ever collected, because I got the 43 as well. So I'm not following Superboy so much. He's still fighting Dynamite, and there it is, another Gil Kane cover, by the way. As I am following Dial H for Hero, the backup, which entranced me, fascinated me. That you could participate in the DC universe by sending them character concepts. And in this issue, Chris and Vicky became Raggedy Doll and Fuzzball, which was sort of a Pac-Man arcade character, inside the world, and two of the worst possible superheroes, but they still made it work. It's useless superheroes that achieve something will always interest me. And for the second month in a row, Ed Hennigan's cover got me to buy World's Finest Comics, this time $2.94. I wish he'd been doing the interiors, but I guess Jerome Moore's more than okay. Superman and Batman fight Tonatiuh, or however you pronounce it. He's an Aztec sun god astronaut. Looked kind of cool, had some potential, never returned so far as I know, and this is the fate that awaited a lot of villains introduced in World's Finest in those days. And that's 6 more comics added to the collection. If you want to read more about this comic book journey, or in fact a lot of other geeky subjects, I recommend siskoid.blogspot.com. I'll also be posting links to relevant articles and images from these very comics. So all the relevant links are under this video somewhere. Thanks for taking that journey back in time with me, and I'll see you next time in June of 1983.